Hi everybody, this is Dr. Ariana Anderson from Anderson Family Chiropractic and Naturopathic Care, and we are here tonight at our wellness workshop to discuss how to make fire cider. What is it, how do you do it, and how does it benefit us? And so we have Irene Petree here, who is a certified aromatherapist and herbalist, who's going to go through this. It's actually pretty easy. You can make it from home, and it's really wonderful at boosting your immunity. So I'll give it to you, Irene.
All right. She said my name's Irene. That's all you need to know. But she's my daughter and she's perfect. But I started on this path for herbology and aromatherapy about 15 years ago, and I couldn't put it down. I think there's a lot of interest right now in natural healing and natural health. I know if you're here, you're interested in your own health and taking charge of that. And I believe that we can do a lot of this ourselves. Herbology is one of the easiest things. Aromatherapy is a little more chemistry and other things, but herbology is right there in the backyard. And one of the things that I've been doing for many years is every year in the summer, I make fire cider. And this is an herbal medicine that you can make yourself at home. And the thing about herbology is a lot of things can be done at home. Tinctures, and they sell tinctures here. She sold me recently one that I am using that's helpful to me while I wait for my own tincture at home to cure so I can start using it because there's time involved. And this is why I do this in the summertime, because in general when illnesses and things or challenges to our health system come in the fall. With me it's usually the spring. But a lot of people have that in the fall. So this is when we prepare it. I make enough for myself and 1 jar for each of my kids. And it's one of the many things I make that doesn't taste horrible. I'm going to show you how to make it because the term spoonful of sugar helps medicine go down is real. Because natural medicine is made with things like alcohol. And this particular one is made with cider vinegar. Not something you want to go home and drink all the time, but it's really good for your health. So you each have a handout, and they have the back page?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, because I want to make sure that you have that, so you know what each of these ingredients can do as we put them in there. So basically what we're going to make is what's called a decoction. No jokes. It's just one of those weird words, right? I remember reading this and what is that and what does it mean? I had to look it up, and it just means you're going to make an extraction of the medicinal properties of the herbs and the vegetables into what's called a menstruum, which is just actually cider vinegar this time. But when you make tinctures, it's alcohol. There's glycerin tinctures, all kinds of different things we can use to extract these things out. When I make the lotions and things that I sell here, I extract into oil. The calendula, the plantain, I always have a process of extracting it into the oil and straining it out. So first thing you know, you're gonna smell this. This is one I made 2 years ago. If you don't put the honey in it and you don't open it up, it'll last a long time. You know why that is?
No.
Because the cider vinegar acts like pickling. Just don't put the sugar. Oh, we're gonna make a mess here. So I'm gonna tell you how easy this is. Once it's done, it'll take 6 weeks to sit on the shelf, and you're gonna shake it. They say to do it every day. Don't worry if you miss a day, because. And then you just pour it out.
The cheesecloth?
Makes lovely noises.
Sounds delicious.
I know you want to eat that, right? No, you don't.
But could you?
I'm sure you could. But we're going to strain this while I'm talking, and then I'm going to add some honey to it. A spoonful of sugar. Only honey is so much better for you. And I recommend if you get honey for something like this, or when you do, I'm just going to assume that you're going to. And get honey that's natural from this area. The wonderful thing about herbal remedies is things like honey things from your own location. What you actually need is probably right in your yard. Plantain is a weed, something I always thought was a weed, and it's grows in your yard in where you don't want things to grow normally. It likes rocky soil, you know. It likes to have your car run over it. It seems to, because that's where it grows. And that is one of the most nutritious herbs, as well as great for healing. You know, that's why I put it in almost all of my healing salves, have plantain infused oil in them. So this is gonna just strain and you squeeze it out. And then you just have a juice that you put, we're going to put the honey into to taste. My son-in-law here, he takes his fire cider straight up because he's real tight. I don't even like to watch that because I'm a little more sensitive to those things. So, but we're gonna put a jar of this together. We're gonna go through them, and I'm gonna, this is interactive, so I'm gonna have you read off the attributes of each of the things we're going to add to it, and we can discuss it as we go to see if that's a problem, you know, what your own thoughts are, because everyone has their own thoughts about how this works. We're gonna put I have all the ingredients for another jar right here. This one's first. That is lemon with its juice. Actually, it's the rinds. It's what you really want is the zest. That's what all the nutrition is. You know, and there's people that have thoughts about that. Oh yeah. I told her to remind me. Thank you, Vanna. When it comes to herbs, this is natural oregano from my garden. Now, drop them in there. When it comes to herbs, you need twice as much fresh as you do dry. And that's the only thing you ever have to remember. You can get herbs at the store. Now, these things are ones that I'm like reusing. Most of this I grow at home. The only things of these that I don't grow at home is cayenne pepper. And then start with lemon. And it's gonna end up looking like this. These I made yesterday. And then you gotta shake it up. And then it's not so pretty. But first you start with lemons. There's the vitamin C, the antioxidants, and all the things that we take vitamin C for. The lemons have this to give you a reason it doesn't taste as good is probably because it's so intense. Do you know what plant has the most vitamin C? More than oranges, more than stinging nettle and pine. I make cough syrup with pine needles in the fall for my grandkids. But stinging nettle is an herb that you can, if you've ever touched it and it stung you, you know what it is. But once you pull it off, the leaves off with gloves, and once it wilts, it doesn't sting anymore. I actually have a variety of nettle growing in my area that doesn't have the stingers. That was convenient. So the next one we're going to put in is horseradish. That has the most things to offer. All right, maybe I'll put some. Sorry. Piece of horseradish. Have you ever bit into a piece of horseradish? It's pretty fiery. Mm-hmm. Actually, I brought a piece to show you what it looks like. This is the other half of the horseradish root that I used. It was this big. It's really good for you. And it warms you up. It sets, all of this is for stimulating your immune system. Getting your body to do what it knows how to do anyway. That's what essential oils do. They get in through the limbic system. Now you're going to put it in through your digestive system. And the next one is ginger. Ginger is a wonderful warming herb. It's anti-inflammatory. It's an expectorant, which means gets the gunk out when you've got lung things going on. This is so, if you're not feeling well and you have this to take, you are gonna feel better just for doing it, just letting it roll down your throat, especially if you have a sore throat. The honey, it soothes it. I know that you don't need that, but you're tough. But there's real benefits to having it in the honey as well. So you can just, honey is good for a throat soother, even if you don't have anything in it. I also make decoctions, medicines with honey, that I'll infuse it in there and then strength, like even onions, and you don't want to just eat an onion, but if you put it in honey for a while, let it extract that out and strengthen it. It's another one of the few ones that don't taste badly at all. And then this is, I put the onions and the cayenne and the jalapeno peppers together for obvious reasons. You just don't want to touch them. Jalapenos can be difficult, to touch and deal with. And you just kind of jam it down in there. I have a regular, great funnel for this. It's just for canning jars, and I left it on the counter.
So that's a makeshift right there.
Yeah, don't you think that's clever? My daughter came up with that. See, and then you try to pat it down a little bit, get it, because we got a couple more things to go. It's all gonna fit in there, just mash it in. It doesn't matter how I chop it up. The first time I made this, I thought it was so pretty that I saw someone just sliced everything and they had it in slices in there, and I just put it in there. The point is you wanna break it all up so that the fluid can get at all as many molecules as it can. Just suck it out, suck all the good stuff out. And this is garlic. Isn't she cute? She's a I think she
So it's not weird.
No, I can tell.
It's a family
That's
thing.
exactly like him.
And turmeric. Turmeric is a wonderful spice. It's really good for your circulation. And you should always take pepper with turmeric. Pepper helps turmeric absorb into the body. It helps the body to do its thing. Everything we do in our herbal and natural medicine is to help our bodies that God made to fix themselves. We have all the apparatus within us to heal. We're just helping it get there. Okay, I will let you do this.
Does it matter which type of pepper?
I just use black. That's a good question. I think that the white and the red are just as good.
But I mean, when using turmeric, does it matter which type? No.
Like for turmeric?
No.
Oh, with the pepper? No. But I've always used black, so I guess I really can't say, but I don't. Somebody would have said in one of my textbooks, just use black if that made a difference, and I don't think it does. So what do you got in your hand?
Rosemary.
Rosemary. We are going to do 2 tablespoons of that. That's that one. Mhm. Rosemary is a plant I grow every single year in my herb garden, and I fail every year. I think I did once, and I think that's where this came from, but it just doesn't seem to want to grow for me. There's gobs of thyme, gobs of wormwood, and lemon balm is an awesome herb. Make sure it's contained in a container, because it will take over your whole garden. Okay, the next one is the thyme, and I believe that thyme is very much like, it's another 1 tablespoon. Like, it's in the same family as oregano, and both of those are excellent antivirals, antibiotics. And I put oregano in my thieves oil as well. It's one of those very potent oils that's one of the things you need to learn with aromatherapy. Some are very strong, like cinnamon, like clove. There's some that are extremely strong. You got to do it in a small batch. In herbology, there are things that they don't even tell you that you can use because they're afraid you're going to do too much of it. Cause we tend to think more is better, and it's not always the case, and time is one of those. More is not always better. And the cayenne pepper, cause I know you can't wait for that, that's only 2 teaspoons, so that's the little one. And all of these you can, if there's something else you think you'd like to add, you certainly can. I also teach how to make elderberry syrup. And in that there's a long list of things you can add. But as you can tell, these are all hot things. These are all warming things. These are stimulating herbs. Because you want to get your sluggish immune system to hip up and start doing its job. You just want to help it. Because we're all made to fix ourselves. Let's see. We got them all in there. You can just pour this in there till it's full, till it's up to here. Did someone get me a paper towel? I'm sorry, I didn't think of that. My hands are clean, I just washed them. Anyhow, the vinegar would take care of that. Vinegar is an excellent cleaner. Vinegar and lemon make great cleaners. And the wonderful thing about herbs and essential oils as well is there's more than one for everything. There's not just one thing that'll fix you. There are many. There's many ways to get better. Many, and usually it's right out there in nature. So now all I do is add honey to it.
She needs an action word when she does that.
An action word?
Yeah, like what's his face does? Bang! You need like a.
He wasn't even here when I told you that, sorry. Now you don't want to do a bang around me. I tend to throw my. Good. So, would you come over here and stir this up?
So
How many
maybe
do we
like,
have?
is that about like a cup? Like
Generally,
you can look on the side
You
then.
end up with about 3 cups of
No, look on the
fluid,
side.
and then you just fill it up with it.
I know, look how much honey is there. You should be able to see it on, right on the
It's a little over.
No,
now,
the little cup. Okay.
about a cup and a half.
So you're gonna get between 2 and 3 cups of fluid. I put a whole cup in there, just about, and it's gonna be plenty sweet. And then we're gonna have samples. Anyhow, I wanted to make sure that I can show people that anyone can do this. You can go home and put this together. When I first started neurology, I didn't know anything, but I was darn well gonna learn. You can learn anything on the internet, right? But then I went to school, and then you have to learn chemistry again, and anatomy and all that stuff, and I have but it's important. And it really helps you understand what you're doing so that you can put it together. But you know your own body. You know what's going on with you. And if this is the kind of thing, if you have it, I'll let this stew for whatever, and I'll keep turning it. And like I said, I had one that was up from 2 years ago. Because apparently I made a lot in 22.
So, how long? So you just want to make sure that everything is covered with vinegar, and then you want to shake it.
It's mixed regularly. I'll go home and stir this some more tonight, and then it's going to end up looking like the other one started.
So actually open it and stir it, not just shake
Sure,
it.
it doesn't. You can open it all you want because the vinegar, the tartness, the acidity of the vinegar. You don't have to worry about it going bad.
As long as the honey's not there.
Yeah, the honey though, will make a big change in all that. So we don't add the honey until we're going to use it. This is going to get used this winter, and it's going to go in my refrigerator, and it will stay there a long time.
So how often do you stir it then? Just when you go home and that's it?
Well, they say to shake it every day. See, this is going to settle a little bit.
Like for every day for 2 years or?
6 weeks.
Okay.
The standard amount for tinctures is 6 weeks. I almost always let them go longer.
And so,
Unless I'm
like, say
sick.
for that one that was a couple years old, so it just, it's just, you stirred it for like 6 weeks and then just let it sit?
I did.
Okay. Alright.
Cause it was like, it had fully soaked up
Okay.
everything,
Okay.
but normally, you might not do that. I also can after 6 weeks stir it out, and then I've just got fluid that's ready for me to add. That's what I usually do. This time I apparently didn't. But you can be flexible about that. It's not hard and fast as long as you don't put the two together. Once you do, it's gotta go in the refrigerator. It will last a long time,
And it does.
and it does, cause we've all been using it for years, and you'll be glad you have it. Whenever you get sick, take a little shot.
Show
You
us
can
how to
fill
do
this
it.
for me?
Now, I know he asked earlier, could you eat the mixture there that you put together, and you said you probably wouldn't want to, but I'm telling you, it, minus some vegetables, it reminds me of something like my grandparents or what, that would mix up to put in a vegetable or something. Just
Well,
to give it
it's-
a little kick.
Oh,
Could you put that in food then? I mean, could you?
sure, you
Oh,
could.
yeah.
But if you have a, what you call it out back, where you,
Compost.
a compost pile would be perfect for that. But this, yeah, but it's been around for a while, and it's got vinegar. Not everything wants to combine with vinegar.
Yeah, but like the chow chow they would call it.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
they
yeah.
would put, it has vinegar
Absolutely, you
in
can do
it,
that.
so.
It already has it.
So if it's appealing, then sure.
I've been around
Correct.
for a while.
What's that?
I said I've been around for a while.
That's true.
There you go. Anybody wants this, but it's, oh yeah. Now, the menstruums that the stuff that I have left after I do a tincture, the alcohol is gonna pull almost everything out of it. So it's pretty much only good for the compost pile, but this is different just because of the process with cider vinegar, the acidity makes it different. And you could use it again, I just had never thought of it. Thank you. So, get you around. Your happy waitress is gonna bring you one that you can taste. And what you would do with this is you can take a shot a day for preventative. I don't. But I take a whole lot of other things provided by this office that I take every day for my health. And
1, 2, 3, go, or?
but once I start,
I'll read one.
another one.
You just
What is it, Lime?
throw it
To
back.
your health,
To
really.
your health.
You can
Right.
sip it back.
Alright.
So with the honey, it's not bad.
No.
It's
So was
one-
there a certain amount of honey, or just?
Just a
you
Generally,
just poured it into
couple
it?
what you're gonna end
It's
up with,
actually kinda yummy
like
with
I-
the honey.
the old herbalist's way,
So many
is to
different.
measure it.
Uh-huh.
And what I
Neighbors might
found
bring
is
us
you're
a
gonna end
little
up
tap.
between 2 to 3 cups of fluid. And then you just fill the rest of the jar. You basically, the honey is to taste. Like I said, you don't have to have it. He wanted more hair on his chest, and so he just put it back. And, but no, you don't have to. I like it to be a little more palatable, so there's that.
I think it's good.
Any other questions?
Not bad.
I mean, we've always just done it straight with so going forward, that's how we're doing it.
Oh, no,
That tastes good to me.
I never told you? Come
Well,
on.
we just have never done that, we've just been like,
Cause I'll send it home, cause like I said, normally I will strain it after a couple months maybe. And then I will send it with them whenever they think they need it. I said, don't use it until you need, don't put honey in it till you need it. And it's perfect, they have medicine on the shelf and it helps. So then you would take, when you do start feeling it, I don't know about you, but I feel as soon as some immune challenge is coming on, I feel it right away. And I'll just start taking, a shot of this every 2 to 3 hours.
And it's safe to give to children?
Obviously.
We've given it to our kids,
So
yeah,
they were
for sure.
Yeah, do you give your children pickles?
Yeah.
Okay. It's
I mean,
all,
You just consider what's in it.
Yeah, nothing wrong.
right,
like,
if
yeah,
there's
with
nothing that they're
foods,
not,
yeah.
like, if they don't have like an immunity to a particular,
Yeah.
some people, onions don't go over well with them or that kind of thing. And yours would not have that, cause you can make this without certain
Mm-hmm.
things. It's flexible. The wonderful thing about herbology is you can make it, you can customize it. I would say don't take more than one thing out. Try to keep a good balance, cause all these things contribute to improving your immune system like a shot of happiness. You know,
Well, and it's-
when your throat hurts,
and
it
it's
is
warm.
very soothing
Yeah.
down your throat. I always tell the kids, swallow it down, don't throw it back when they have a sore throat. Just go ahead and sip it, swallow it down, and you'll feel it go down your throat, and you'll get relief a lot sooner. Any other questions?
No, I think
The oregano, you mentioned it's
Mhm.
better to use it if it's dried, like you said.
No, I put the oregano in here just so that you can see that you can grow it. It's very easy to grow plant. You just need twice as much fresh as you would dry. Because when
Why?
you dry it, excuse me,
The why?
why? Because it shrinks when you dry it.
Oh, so it's not a nutritional thing. It's just size. Gotcha.
It's just size. There are a lot of herbalists that won't do anything but with fresh. I don't have that, what's the word? I'm not lucky enough to be able to do that. I don't have a farm where I would have it all. I was able to go out and get the oregano. Now I harvest thyme every year and other herbs, and I put them up, chives and lots of things, and wormwood, which is, everybody has a problem with it. It smells wonderful. The plant smells wonderful. It doesn't taste all that wonderful when you put it in a tincture, but it's just a wonderful smelling plant, and it's very, very good. You just need to get yourself a little book that has these things broken down. They're all over the place, and there's a lot more herbal books than there are aromatherapy books. And if you do want to know about aromatherapy, I could recommend a couple, because a lot of them are just fluff. But there's very good herbal books out there, and just know what each one needs. You can go out. It's really fun to harvest them yourself. I harvested a bunch of yarrow last week or so ago. It's that time, and they all have their different goldenrod. And one of the things that I just made for them is jewelweed salve. Did you know there's natural things in nature for the other things that I give them? Jewelweed is a lovely little plant that grows right next to poison ivy. And what does it do? It heals poison ivy. You know, but it's one of those things, it's timing. You have to get it on there right away. And poison ivy is the best thing with poison ivy is if you know you're anywhere near it, scrub good with soap when you get home. And that's the best thing you can do. There's goldenrod's the same way, grows right next to ragweed. People think they're allergic to goldenrod. They're not. It's the ragweed that's growing right next to it. Goldenrod is a herbal medicine that you can tincture or take in tea. Doesn't taste horrible, because some of them do. That is really good for allergies. So there's a lot of good things out there, and I think God made it that way. We just forgot as people. Pills were so easy, and look how did that work out? So, anyhow, any other questions? So I like to talk. It's all right. Anyhow, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Enjoy the day.